What's up, guys? Just looking to do a little install slash review of this part that I'm going to be installing on the CRF110 today. Uh, Norm from this company, Move It Brackets, reached out to me, asked me to do a little review for him, so I figured I'd do a little install as well. Looks like a pretty cool little thing. It's going to relocate the key to a spot that's a little more accessible, easier to reach. So I'll get you a view of the bracket itself. Here's the bracket. Pretty simple little thing. I believe he cuts this on a water jet and then gets this bend in there on a brake press. And then he gives you the option between some button heads or some hex bolts. I went with the button heads. I think they look a little bit cleaner. So without further ado, let's get this thing installed. You're going to start out with a couple of 8mm. Get your number plate off. I have mine zip tied here with the taller bars. This little strap likes to come out, so I zip tied it there. So I just kind of flip it up out of the way. And it looks like, gotta get these cables out of the way. This whole bracket as a whole has to come out. A couple of 10mm. Now, let's see how this stuff comes out of the original bracket. Now, I've never taken this stuff apart myself, so this is a first for me. So we are going to learn this together. That is an interesting little thing we got here. I am not sure how that works. Maybe let's look at the key, see how that pops out. Okay, so the key has a couple little push tabs. One here, one here. Just pop that out. Looks to be pretty easy. That'll loosen it up, and I'm sure we just got to unplug it under here. In the meantime, go back to trying to figure this thing out. Definitely don't want to break it, so I'm trying not to force it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just have to unplug it. I guess it all just has to be unplugged. Now, this bike is brand new. I really haven't done a whole lot with it. So, and I'm new to the CRF110 altogether, so I'm still getting used to how things come apart. KLX110, I can tear it down and rebuild it with my eyes closed. But these things are uncharted territory to me. So I guess I just gotta pop these connectors. Looks like the key switch is just two little bullet connectors. Now these types of connectors, just make sure you try to grab it by the actual connector itself. You don't want to pull it by the wires. All right, so I left off with getting the connectors apart. For the key tumbler, you got two bullet connectors, and then you got just your typical connector for the fuel light. So my phone cut off, and I wasn't too sure where I left off, so we'll just start right back up here. So the key tumbler, simple enough, you just pull it out. And the fuel light, it took me a couple minutes to figure it out. I wasn't sure what Honda did with this thing. Like I said, I'm all new to these CRF110s, so I'm not too sure how they all come apart. But I figured out that this little thing is just almost like a lens for the light bulb in there. Just pops right out of this grommet. Grommet pops out that way. Set it off to the side. Now you've got your bracket all taken apart here. I've seen some stuff online about with these Move It brackets that you have to trim some stuff off. Not exactly sure which parts, if not all of them. So I'll just kind of hold it up to the bars and see what I need to do. I guess for now though, we'll put this guy on, get it mounted up. As you can see, there's a couple different height settings. Not too sure where we're going to end up, but for now, maybe we'll just try the shortest one. So it looks like we'll go like this. Something like that. All right. Just blast these on real quick. I believe it mounts something like this. All right, so one thing I'm noticing is with these BBR bars, so the angle of my bars, I have them set to essentially be in line with the forks. And it looks like the key is going to be hitting the bar pad. And now I have this on the very lowest setting that's available. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with that yet. I can't just take this bar pad off. It wouldn't be smart to run without one. I don't really want it rubbing up against the key. So I got the holes lined up there. As you can see, I'm pressing up against the bar pad. And that's the key off. So if I were to turn this key on, it would really be pressing up against it pretty hard. Now it looks like if I were to bend that tab for the bracket down a little bit more. All right, so we're back after I put a little more bend in this bracket. Now you can see how much it clears. I just kind of have everything finger tight right now, but I got the tumbler in there. You can see how much room I've got now. Should be no problem. Like I said, that's just finger tight. It's not torqued down or anything. I got the number plate on. So you can see like there's these parts on this key bracket we're not going to need anymore. I probably would leave them, but in the future, coming up soon actually, I have a light bar that I'm going to be putting on, and I don't think that these will get in the way. Maybe this one and this one. This one up here probably wouldn't, but these might interfere with the light bar. So normally I probably wouldn't cut them off because I like to typically keep everything able to be returned to stock if I want to. But I mean, this is just a simple little bracket. I could probably find one on eBay for a few bucks. So I'm not too worried about it. It's nothing major. So I'm going to pull this back off and I'll cut these little things off the bracket and I'll get everything mounted up nice. So I'll check back in a few minutes. Super sweet safety squints. Yep. Guess I didn't even need the Dremel, I guess. Could have probably just snapped them off, but whatever. Well, I'll just grind these down real quick. I'll probably get this thing repowder coated, maybe just throw a little bit of paint over it so it's not showing bare metal. But I'll grind these little welds down flat and bolt this thing up and call it a day. Just take a file to it, deburr it a little bit. All right, there we go. Not the prettiest, but you know, I'll find a rainy day over this winter, snowy day, I guess, and clean this thing up, throw a little bit of paint on it or something. For now, let's throw this thing on there and see how it looks. Just for the record, these bolts that come with it, if you get the button heads, the nut is 11 millimeter, and the button head is a 4 millimeter Allen. Kind of an oddball for that to be an 11, but whatever, is what it is. Let's go ahead and get our key switch and our light back in there. Get it all together and see how she looks. Just found out if these two touch each other, the fuel pump will kick on. So try not to let those touch. Well, my key's on, by the way. Yeah, shut that off. Just kidding. I'm an idiot. It's not plugged in. It's been a long day. Give me a break. Okay, now it's on. Shut that off. Dig out the connector for the fuel light. Okay, got that plugged in. All right, so we'll just kind of have things tucked in here. Maybe try to find a good spot to zip tie it, because we did lose by moving the bracket up. We lost where this clip that kind of goes and keeps these wires snug. Kind of lost that by trimming that bracket. Not the end of the world. Just kind of got to find a good spot for it. Maybe run a zip tie through one of these holes here just to keep this steady in one spot. But you also don't want to interfere with your throttle cables, so make sure you're careful with that. Just don't make anything too tight. Give everything a little bit of room to move around. Now we'll toss the number plate back on. Get everything lined up again. All right, don't forget your couple 8 millimeters. Hold the number plate on. I always manage to drop these and put them in. So if I can get both of these in without dropping one, oh, just kidding, jinx myself. All right, let's try again. All right. God, butterfingers today. So got this thing back on. Everything's bolted down tight. Pretty cool. You actually still have room to get to your bar clamp bolts if you want to. But see, we got a bunch of room there for the key. Get in there, no problem. Ton of room in there. Now, like I said, got a light bar coming, so I'm going to see how this thing fits once I get that light bar in. If I can get everything to work together, that would be awesome. Show you this thing from the other side. It should be pretty cool, I think. I think this is a pretty nifty little bracket here. You know, it's nothing crazy, but I don't got to reach behind here, turn the key off. Nice and easy spot right there. So it's pretty cool. So let me get the card again. So there we go. Yeah, so thanks Norm with the Move It key switch brackets. You know, cool small little business this guy started up. So if you feel like relocating your key bracket, hit this dude up.